Welcome in to 615 Preps Live, presented by AccuWorks.com. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into a Week 5 preview around Middle Tennessee. We got Chris, Joe, Cam, and Scott with you tonight. So, gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, a little bit of a new opener there with the new sponsors. So hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
Yeah, a little funkadelic there. Yeah.
Yeah, a little upbeat tone for this, and a good week for it too. Some interesting games to talk about this week. Week 5, as after this week, we'll be about a third of the way to Chattanooga.
You shut your
mouth. The devil, you say?
Yeah, I don't want to bring it up, but kind of have to.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Okay, let's hear yours.
We're at week 1. Started already.
We're not even 90 seconds in. Yeah. Speaking of KJ, you're gonna want to stick around for his apology. It's a good one.
That's what I hear. I can't wait.
We've got those tonight. Got 10 games to talk about before our top 10, and then we'll pick them in the second hour. But first, week 5 is upon us. Joe, I don't have a ranking slide for you this week, so you're just going to have to kind of wing it.
How dare you make me do my job? We'll start off with large class. Top 3 teams remain unchanged. Oakland, Brentwood Academy, Ravenwood, all roll. We did flip Ensworth and Blackman. Blackman did cruise last week. However, Ensworth had the biggest win of the week, upsetting the two-time defending D2 AA state champs.
Yes.
Macaulay, in pretty dominant fashion. So Ensworth jumps back up to number 4. Blackman's at 5, but it is what it is. So, any thoughts there?
No, I don't see how you avoid that. Ensworth, which with maybe the biggest win of the season so far, has to be, and put their stamp on just how what their program is.
Yeah, everybody kind of held serve, but Ensworth kind of was able to get an extra one on everybody, if that makes sense. That's a win that, this Middle Tennessee area, as far as D2 AAA goes, has been looking for several years now.
Yeah, that is a signature win for Tim Hasselbeck and that Ensworth coaching staff and the whole program, actually. And it does present some shakeup to that potential playoff bracket too. Now, with Baylor and Macaulay at the moment looking like they're on the same side of the bracket.
Yep, and they play each other here in a couple of weeks. That's going to shake a lot of things up, especially if Baylor wins. Right? If Baylor wins,
yeah.
So
that's huge.
Yeah. All right, let's talk medium class.
BGA holds serve at number 1. And we got new number 2. Moved Page up to number 2. They jump FRA. Page, to me, has just looked a lot more dominant. FRA has been tested quite a bit this year. Page, not so much. Springfield holds serve at number 4 after that high-scoring game last week. And then Macon County rolled over Narnia 44-7, so they sit at number 5.
People are going to be looking for that on their maps. Where is
100%?
Teams just missing out: Beach, Davidson Academy, Pearl Cone. I know they're on 4. They're still right there. And then Station Camp and GCA. You got to talk about GCA a little bit. They're going to be really, really good this year, and they're beating up on teams at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, not hardly able to crack our top 5 for medium class, but they did crack the top 5 for D2 AA on the Tennessee Sports Writers Association poll, I believe. Right, Joe?
Yep.
So that kind of tells you what kind of team that they have down there in Franklin, and we definitely have to try to find a way to get out to see those guys here over the next few weeks.
You mentioned the TSWA poll. I want to talk about this for a moment because they're not on our rankings list right now, but Pearl Cone, 0-4, but still holding in that top 10. And a lot of people were talking about why, but explain why, Joe.
Yeah, I think the writers that vote in the poll, myself included, realized that they played arguably the second hardest. If there was a top 10 D2 AAA team, CPA would be a top 10 team based on what they've done. I mean, based on their schedule, nobody's played a harder schedule than these two teams. And, it is what it is. Pearl gets Kenwood this week. We all believe they get a win there. And then their big one is the next week against Springfield. It's a really good Pro Cone team. They've just played the AFC South essentially.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way Coach Brunetti wanted it. He wanted to play the hardest teams, prepare himself for the postseason. I mean, and when's the best time to play them? Early in the season.
I mean, yeah, Joe, you hit it right on the head. I mean, they've essentially played the AFC South, and none of the AFC South, in this case, has Brian Callahan as their coach.
Hey, you still salty, aren't you?
He's upset. Mad.
Maybe just a little bit.
He mad.
Thanks, Matt, for that. One of my favorite T-shirts, King Griffey Jr. here.
Yeah.
And the big dumper tied him,
Joe.
Correct?
For the franchise record with 56 homers last night. The Mariners have won 10 in a row. So
he's hitting 60.
Yeah,
he's hitting 60.
He just passed Mickey Mantle for all-time switch hitter home runs. So it is crazy stuff. Small class time.
Nashville Christian holds serve at number 1. East Robertson number 2. Gordonsville's looking really, really good. They're number 3. East Nashville kind of in the same boat as Pro Cone. They have not won a game yet, but they are number 4, and they deserve to be number 4 because if you put them on a field with the teams that are above them, they'd give them a game. We saw that. Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate it. We saw that Friday night or Thursday night against Beach, and then Whites Creek put the Cobras in at number 4 or 5. They're beating up on teams. They're off to their best start in quite a long time, and I really, really like where this team's at.
Yeah. Small class is going to be fun to watch, I think, the rest of the season just because of some of these matchups that are coming up for them.
Yeah, I mean, Friendship Christian losing knocked them out of the top 5. I got them at 6. DCA rises back up, beating PCA. They're 2-2. Joe Burns is a team that's not in the top 10, but they're very easily right there.
Yep.
Where's Antioch? Antioch, we have at number 8 in our large class. We have
which is a loaded class.
Yeah, and somebody asked on it, or Carter asked on Instagram, where's Gallatin? They're ranked number 9 for us, but I don't believe they're ranked in the state poll.
No, I don't think so.
But we got them ranked 9.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's on the crawler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The top 5s are. The top 5s are.
Top 5s are down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it only gives me so much room to work with, and I had a lot to put there this week.
Yeah, the small class, Gordonsville's kind of cruising along quietly. East Nashville's played tough competition. Whites Creek's looked really, really good so far. They've looked to have found some of that consistency that we've been talking about that team. Huge game looming here in a few weeks against Heritage. So be interesting to see how that one plays out.
All right, let's get to our 3 stars of the week, and we'll start with the honorees for week number 3 because we had some good ones. And first star of the week honors go to Wilson Central's Chaz Martin with that big night for them. Wildcat fans voted out in full force, and he won that poll pretty handily, I believe. Slim Lavelle from Good Pasture, their second star of the week, and then Providence Christian's Nate Lamb takes home 3rd star honors for week number 3. So congratulations to those 3 athletes for picking up 3 stars honors for week number 3. On to the week 4 finalists, and it's a loaded list. And give me a second to go over these because there's 9 of them. So we got Riverdale's Gavin Hampton, who went 14 of 24 passing for 292 yards and 5 touchdowns as Riverdale beat Laverne 44-7. BGA's Caden Marable, he's 4 for 4 on this list, but they got to vote to get him off of it. 16 of 19 passing, 301 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 carries for 5 yards and a score as BGA beat Greenwich Country Day 62-28. Macon County's Cameron Miller had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns of 57 and 73 yards, had a 45-yard pick six, 2 tackles, one of them for a safety in that 44-7 win over Trousdale County. Colton Overbay from Station Camp, even in a losing effort, the numbers are ridiculous. 26 of 36 passing for 382 yards and 3 touchdowns, 13 carries for 78 yards and 2 more scores. in that loss at Springfield. Sycamore's Cody Scalf, 9 of 14 passing, 173 yards and 4 touchdowns. They didn't need to play the starters very long. They won 78-6 at Stewart County. Lipscomb Academy's J.C. White, 24 of 29 passing for 401 yards and 3 touchdowns in their win over MUS. Beach's D.K. Williams, 11 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, 6 quarterback hurries, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles in their win over East Nashville. Springfield's Kason Woodson, 14 of 18 for 316 yards and 4 touchdowns, 6 carries for 75 yards, and another score in that 55-35 win over Station Camp. And finally, Joe Burns' Clay Woody, 5 of 7 passing, 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 7 carries for 64 yards and 2 more scores as they beat Todd County, Kentucky, 56-24. So those 9 are up for 3 stars of the week now at 615preps.com. You can vote through noon on Friday. So the top 3 are going to be off the list the remainder of the regular season. BGA fans, vote for Caden Marable because he's going to be on this list every week until you do.
Yeah, they can vote for him if they want to or not. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the numbers he's putting up, he's going to get a bigger award at the end of the season with the rate he's going.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, line of the week honors, and it's going to go to that defense over at Oakland.
Yeah, they held a very stout Procone offense to -7 total rushing yards on Friday night, and you do that to a team like Procone, you are the line of the week.
Congratulations to Coach Creasy's defense. That's a strong unit and put together another terrific performance to earn line of the week honors. All right, let's talk about our new sponsor, AccuWorks.com. Water damage. It can be as small as a leaking faucet or as catastrophic as a flood. Regardless of the source, water damage wreaks havoc on your home's walls, floors, and furniture and can lead to mold and other health risks. AccuWorks can start water damage restoration services immediately, removing all potential risks and drying out affected areas. The experts at AccuWorks will determine the extent of the water damage in your home. They can handle any size of water breach from sewage backup to storm flooding. AccuWorks conducts Nashville water removal from your home using the most advanced equipment in the industry. And once your home is dry again, the home restoration and mold remediation experts can also repair any lasting damage. There's no need to call a contractor for water damage restoration. If you're in Nashville, Cookeville, or areas in between, it's time to call the water damage experts. Call them now at 615-292-2009 or toll free at 888-779-2228 or visit the website at AccuWorks.com. AccuWorks is a proud sponsor of Tennessee high school athletics. Certainly want to thank AccuWorks for coming on and sponsoring 615 Preps Live for the rest of the season. Then we'll have a lot of stuff with them going forward. Also, another sponsor announcement coming here from Lookout Pest Control, who has signed on to sponsor our Love to Hate series for this year and our Iron Brigade awards at the end of the year. Definitely want to thank them for getting in here and helping us out with those as well.
Absolutely.
That logo looks really cool against the brick background.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It does.
float looks really well.
Should send that to them.
Yeah, should. Definitely should.
Right.
No, I really appreciate them coming on board. Appreciate all the sponsors we've gotten so far. We asked and you guys delivered, so really appreciate all of you. And we still got more things to go. So if you're still interested, I'll do the Scott Burton and I. If you're still interested, reach out, and we got quite a few things left to sponsor. Yeah, Scott.
Absolutely. The big one is we still have openings for our Player of the Year and Coach of the Year awards. That's a big one. We still have our playoff coverage and our Blue Cross Bowl coverage out there as well. We will ask that, hey, you guys have done a great job helping us get the word out and getting sponsors. We'll ask that you guys, visit 107 Barn, Lookout Pest Control, AccuWorks, frequent those places that help support high school athletics.
Yeah, and one new thing I did want to mention, one new thing that we're offering with the Blue Cross Bowl coverage this year for a little bit of an extra fee, but it's well worth it. your company logo in the watermark on all championship photos. When you talk about all championship photos, we're talking about all 9 games, even if it's not including a 615 area team. So that is one small little feature that we're adding. So you're talking about your watermark logo on the gold ball pictures, every championship picture that we take this year, which will be somewhere, as far as published, somewhere between 300 and 500 photos probably.
Yep.
And thus ends the commerce section of the broadcast.
Now it's on to the penance portion of it, as we got to make some apologies.
Noah asked his weekly question.
Oh, okay. Yes, he did. Hold
on. What do I got this week? Well, the Oakland Raiders are my least favorite football team, NFL team. So when you're called the Raiders, I can't help but just not like you. It's just natural. So change your name and we'll be friends. That's all I can tell you, McGavick.
Now you're going to tick off Big Joe.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time to make some apologies. I got to say, this week might be the best we've ever put together. It just might. But I'm going to start with you, Cam, because you were at East Robertson and you didn't do it on the field. So now you got to do it here.
Well, I'll tell you what I was told. I mean, Coach Alexander, Coach Brooks said, hey, we talked to Scott, and Scott said that he's got us if we win. I was like, shoo, thank goodness I'm out. You know, I got out of there quickly. But Scott has somebody else that he owes an apology to. So I will be the one stepping up and apologizing to the Indians. I was completely wrong. You guys, since week 1, have got it all together. You pretty much dominated that game up front. You got a really, really good football team. You've got your discipline in check. The sky's the ceiling for you guys. Sorry I missed it.
Scott, you okay with that? Because you're next.
Yeah, and I'm going to step up and be a man for East Robertson. Yeah, I did talk to Coach Brooks and Coach Alexander at the game, and I'm going to stand up and be a man and say, gentlemen, I apologize. I had it wrong. I doubted you, and I have no excuse. That being said, I have to apologize since I was the only one who doubted the Hawks of Green Hill. I was at the Ravenwood game, and I lost faith. I'll admit it. I shouldn't have. You guys came back in a big way. And, I mean, my heart goes out. I hope you can forgive me. I really feel bad for doubting you. Really bad. Really, really bad. I feel really bad that I doubted the Green Hill Hawks. I apologize. And I apologize for this.
Just so y'all know, we did not know that was coming.
Chris and I did.
Well, I did not.
No, you got
not very long though. This is right before the show started on the air. So,
wow.
Well, I was trying to. I didn't get to do the apology that I was going to do because work ran late, and I just felt like I needed to really apologize.
No,
don't adjust your colors.
Don't adjust your set.
Hey, this is more hair than I've had in a long time.
Wow.
But yeah, it's striking, isn't it? But I felt like it today. I felt it. That's how much remorse I had for the pick. Yeah, I know. You can't stop looking at it, can you?
That's appropriate. That's appropriate. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Now I wish I'd have done the whole thing, but I hadn't shaved my beard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could have handled that or not. All right, Joe, I'm gonna let you have the next one because KJ's gonna bring up the rear. It's too good not to.
Rightfully so.
Oh, yeah.
So, I could do an individual apology, but I'll apologize on behalf of everyone at 615 Preps to the Innsworth Tigers. You guys made us look bad last week. But can you blame us for picking against you when you're playing Macaulay? The history said otherwise. We all got it wrong. J-Hop, EJ, all the boys there at Innsworth, you proved us wrong. And that's a game I'm happy to be wrong about. So big win for Middle Tennessee, big win for the Innsworth Tigers. And just know I'm sorry. Shouldn't have picked against you.
Yep, that's well said. I think it goes for all of us. So with them off the list, I'm going to take a little bit different tact here and apologize to the other teams that I got wrong last week. DeKalb County, you guys got it done against Friendship Christian. Didn't see that coming. Hit me like a freight train. Watertown, hats off to you. Hendersonville, same to you guys as well. Innovation Academy. First ever TSSAA win. Congratulations. We actually drove by there Friday night leaving Springfield, and you guys were on the road celebrating it for good reason. Hillsboro, I was the only one that picked against you. So, I'm sorry. I'm a big fat idiot. DCA, I missed that one too. Siegel, y'all are surprising me in a good way. Keep that up, and there may be a visit coming pretty soon. And then Rockville, didn't see that one coming either. I was blindsided. There's been a lot of people that have wanted to do this to me for a long time, so I'll save you the trouble.
He hit himself with the taco.
Yeah, but still.
Tortilla. That's what I meant.
After Scott did what he did with his hair, I really couldn't do anything to top it.
It's crazy. Scott has the second best apology this week, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Matt, you're not wrong. You're not. But the one you've been waiting for is KJ. And, here's what he put together.
I'm KJ Harris here with 615 Preps. And as you know, I'm here in the Shack Island Stadium. I picked against my alma mater last week, and they proved me wrong. And I'm here to
You're not supposed to be here, huh? What you doing, man?
Tell him. Hey, apologize to him. Tell him. Yes, come on. I apologize for picking against him.
Come on now.
Never do it again, right? Never do it again. I'm not going to say I'll never do it again.
Nice.
It's a former beach standout with two current beach standouts, and they caught him like it was nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, KJ got to experience what it's like for most quarterbacks with DK Williams in a full sprint.
He really did.
He saw his life flash before his eyes.
Definitely well done. And
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah, that's right, Matt.
Surprised they let him in the stadium.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Especially with the new digs over there. I mean,
They should have thrown him out. That would have been funny.
Oh, that would have been.
maybe have somebody at the gate meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my vote and what I said first immediately in the group chat was, did they 3D him at the 50-yard line?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That would have been. That might have been a little much. I mean.
Yeah.
God, it's a shame they don't play this year.
I know it. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into week 5 and our top games and top 10 games of week number 5. We'll start with Beach and Upperman.
2 games not in our top 10. I keep getting asked this on Instagram. 2 games that are not in our top 10 that we'll be at tomorrow night. Cam and I will be at Portland at Greenbrier. Scott will be at Ezel and Joe Burns.
Yep.
So just want to put that out there. Had a lot of people asking where we'll be this week. We'll put out a graphic tomorrow saying, hey, this is where we're at. But Thursday night games. Chris is off. Scott is at Joe Burns and Ezel. Cam and I are at Portland Greenbrier. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. So let's start with Beach at Upperman. These two teams playing for the first time ever. And Beach coming off that win over East Nashville. Upperman has looked really good.
They have, a good solid win over a Knox Webb team that may not be the Knox Webb teams of old, but is still a very talented football team. A huge win, a dominant win over a Farragut team out of Knoxville. And then, of course, the shootout loss to Greenville, which is two top 5 4A teams going at it there. That's a game, if that game's in Baxter, Upperman may win that one. It was a touchdown game. Great football game. Upperman is a good football team. Bronson Chaffin is a dude. That's just all there is to it. This is a similar matchup, in my opinion, for Beach as the Green Hill game. As far as what Upperman wants to do on offense with the quarterback run, with the little speedy receivers, I think this is the best comparable matchup. How much has that Beach defense grown? We said they would get better. They'd be a lot better at the end of the season than the start of the season. How much have they grown to this point in the season?
I think Jacob and Goose are calling the game. That's crazy.
Well, as Joe said, I'm off tomorrow night, but the guys at UCR have it, so
that's fair.
Yes.
The thing about me and Upperman right now is, I know that Upperman's talented. I know Bronson Chaffin is beyond talented. I know that they are usually a tough out, but they've only played one really good team so far. I'm interested to see what happens when they play, and that was Greenville, and they lost that game. I want to see what they do against a team like Beach. I want to see what they can do against a team that's not 0-4. They did win against what was it? Was it Stone?
Yep,
Memorial
they beat Stone last week. Yep.
Yeah, and which is a solid team. But I'd like to see them play against Beach. And now that Beach's offense has kind of settled into who they are, and that Caden Powell seems to have taken the reins of the offense, I'm very interested to see how this game plays out, because you've got two really good run-throw quarterbacks in this game. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the defenses react and which defense can come out on top.
Yeah, and this is one of those games, if you show up for warm-ups, you may not be able to identify the quarterbacks because they're two very, very big dudes.
Yeah, the issue that Beach has had in a couple of their games this year is when they play mobile quarterbacks. You look at Cannon Burrows, what he did. Dallas Covington last week kind of tore him up on the ground. Little crossing routes over the middle is where East Nashville had a lot of their success. Upperman can do that, and they do it really well. They're one game against a really good opponent this year. They lost, but they lost to a really good Greenville team. I just think the way Upperman's offense is, and they have a really good defense, kind of what Noah's saying right here, two really good linebackers. The way that Upperman's offense runs, though, with Bronston running the point there, it's a bad matchup for that Beach defense, especially with how young they are. However, if you're at Shackle Island and not in Baxter Friday night and you hear just like a clap of thunder, that's DK Williams and Bronson Chaffin hitting each other. Because that's the match. That's going to be an unbelievably fun matchup.
Right.
East Robertson's on the road at Kirkwood. Now, this is an intriguing matchup for a lot of reasons.
This is where I'll be Friday night. And it's going to be the storyline here is two Tennessee quarterbacks, Tennessee commitments. But to me, the story here is the quarterbacks. Two really, really good quarterbacks in this, two dual threat guys that can tear up anybody. It's going to be interesting to see that, especially along the line play. If Kamari Blair and Zach Groves match up against each other, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. This is a really, really exciting game.
Yeah, to me, this is going to come down to how the back half of that Indians defense plays. I think Kirkwood may be the first team this year that might be able to, when he's on that side with Blair, they may be the first team that's able to say, hey, Kamari Blair, you block Zach Groves one-on-one. All the other teams can't say that they've played to this point. They've had to double him. He's been a game wrecker. He, last week against Portland, he didn't have a ton of tackles, but he was taking double teams almost every play, still being a disruption in the backfield. This is the first game that a team may be able to go one-on-one with Zach Groves, which means another blocker is free to go pick up a linebacker, whether that be McNeil or a couple of the other guys they have there at linebacker. The secondary with Cade Brooks, Xavion Groves, a couple of those other kids back there, very, very good, very, very athletic group, but have not really been tested that much up until this point. Maybe the JP2 game may be their biggest test to this point. So it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up against the Kirkwood offense.
Well, yeah, you said it, Cam. This is a tough test for the East Robertson Indians. They're going up against a Cobra offense that averages 178 yards of rushing per game. They're led by Josiah Claybrooks, who averages 7.7 yards per carry. Miles Redding, I think Joe was talking about the quarterback matchup. Miles Redding, 7 TDs passing and 6 rushing. I mean, he's hard to stop in the air and on the ground. That's going to be a very, very interesting matchup of Redding against the secondary of East Robertson. Their defense, now they've only played teams out of Montgomery County, but they're beating the teams they should. And their defense hasn't allowed more than 14 points in a game this year and has posted 11 sacks.
Yeah, the big thing for them is, if you're Kirkwood, you're winning, but you're also the 4 wins you have are teams that are 4-12 on the year. So this is their first real step up in competition, and East Robertson's gotten a taste of that. JP2 just tested FRA last week. That's big. And then Portland's a really good team. They've just unfortunately had to play Springfield and East Robertson in back-to-back weeks. So that's a big test.
Yeah, that really impressed me about East Robertson really playing well against a physical Portland team. So they're not just finesse. They can play physical as well.
Yep.
Region matchup over at Davidson Academy as they're going to host FRA.
And for me, this is FRA needs a get-right game before they need to find something. I know they're unbeaten, but they need to carry some big momentum into that game against BGA next week because you need anything and everything to beat the Wildcats right now. And they're kind of struggling on the defensive side of the ball. Thankfully, their offense stepped up last week. I think we all had them beating JP2, but none of us had it that close. And for them to do that, it's a good win, but coming against the Davidson Academy team that's figuring it out well, it's going to be a good one this week.
This FRA team is kind of still a question mark to this point, which is kind of wild. Mm-hmm. You look at the first 2 games, and both of them were kind of the same thing. Real tight games at halftime. The game against Cookeville tied 14-14, up 14-8 against South Gibson. Was able to pull away in both of those games, but the slow starts, and then last week in a shootout where they couldn't seem to get off the field against the JP2 team. Luckily for FRA, they've got the offensive weapons to outscore some of these teams. But I know Coach Geisinger is still nowhere near pleased on the way the Panthers are playing to this point. And, of course, Davidson Academy with Coach Quinn coming off of a big win over Goodpasture. The transfer in for them, Holman, has been really, really good for them at the quarterback position. So another dangerous offense for the Panthers to go up against. But, they do have some very, very talented guys in the backfield.
Yeah, you're right when you say they're kind of a mystery, Cam. We expected this FRA team to be the team that was going to push BGA for the region crown. So far, they just don't seem to have been able to put it all together. They've been scoring on special teams and defense and making doing what it takes to win, but not, they haven't put together that complete game. If they put a complete game together, this Panther team is absolutely going to cause some havoc. I think Joe was talking about it. They really need a complete game. They really need a solid win that they can build on. But the Bears got a quality win last week against a good up and coming Good Pasture team. They've been Good Pasture been lighting up the scoreboard. Now they get a tough test. Cam, you mentioned Ridge Holman, 67% passer, 557 yards, 9 TDs, and he doesn't put the ball in jeopardy. He's only had one pick this year. The troubling aspect of their game has been a consistent rushing attack. If FRA makes them one-dimensional passing, it could be a long night for Davidson Academy.
Also, to think about FRA and that game against BGA next week. BGA's off this week. FRA not only needs a get back and a get right game, they need a stay healthy game too.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Gallatin and Green Hill, big region game over for those two teams.
Go ahead, Cam.
Yeah.
This was an extremely tough game to pick, and Joe actually took my idea and this weekend to picks. He waited to see who I was picking, but this is a tough one. I think both teams are pleased with getting wins last week, but both teams I think are not happy in the way that they got the win. I know Coach Crouch did not want to give up 35 points to Centennial. I know Gallatin did not want to be down 17-6 midway through the third quarter and have to score 41 straight on a Cookeville team. Now, the fact that Gallatin was able to do that, the fact that Green Hill was able to outscore Centennial essentially, it speaks to the volumes of the talent on offense for both of these teams. This game has all the shape up of being the first one to 35 or first one to 40. Turnovers are going to be huge in this game. Special teams are going to be huge in this game, and we all know that Coach Crouch, let's just put it the way it is. He's not afraid to let them hang every once in a while. So this one could be should be a really fun one to watch. I'm kind of disappointed not able to get out to this one, but we've got some other ones that we need to get to. So should be a really, really fun game on Friday night.
Also, for the record, I changed my pick, but I also did 3 flips of a coin because I didn't know who to pick. I picked and I was like, don't feel comfortable with that at all. Just unfortunately have to land the same way Cam did.
I picked the green team.
I picked a green team. I won't be dyeing my hair green next week. It's a great quarterback matchup. I mean, Cannon Burrow, Jackson Strout. And I think we went into the year saying this could be for the region title. I can't say that because Lebanon's really freaking good right now. But I mean, the winner here's on a good track to win the region title, have that driver's seat until they play Lebanon here in a couple of weeks. But it'll be a great one up on the hill. I'll be tuning into the Green Hill Sports Network, their coverage of it during, breaks in my game, but it's going to be a fun one. A green team will win. Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, rumors of the Green Hill demise has been greatly exaggerated, if you can't tell. But they just managed to outlast Centennial in the track meet last week, but they still gave up 263 yards passing and 4 scores to Mitchell Grangine and Centennial. Just defensively, they're just giving up too many points, and it was up to Cannon Burrows and the offense to do everything possible to keep them in the game. This week, they go up against a Gallatin team that has a more efficient passing attack. Jackson Straub is completing 77% of his passes. He already has 830 yards passing, 12 TDs. The difference in this game is probably going to be on the defensive side of the ball. Who can get the timely stop? Who can force a turnover? Or which team makes a critical mistake, as Cam was saying. This may come down to a field goal or the last team to have the ball.
I hate that Centennial and Gallatin got called the week before because we'd have a good baseline for where these two teams line up, and we just don't. So it made picking this one hell.
Yeah, it really did.
Gordonsville goes down to Cannon County in a pretty intriguing matchup in one of the smaller classes.
It's a good shade of green either way, Josh.
Yeah.
This one should be fun. Cannon County's high-scoring offense against Gordonsville's defense. The Tigers are hot right now. Tigers versus Lions. Just realized that.
Yeah. We're the Bears.
Yeah. No. Well, they're in our spotlight game. I like where Gordonsville is at. Cannon County, they bounced back from that PCA loss really well. This should be a fun one. I think if Gordonsville makes this a low-scoring game, I mean, you got to think that they win this. But if Cannon County gets it in a shootout, Gordonsville does have the pieces there with Jay Foster to keep up with them. So it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I think that Gordonsville is going to go about as far as they can. With Jay Foster back at the helm, they're going to go as far as his arm and legs will take them. That gives the running game. That gives Turner Butcher and Lee Skurlock room to roam. But really, defensively, J.P. Harris, he leads the team in tackles. Couple him with Bobby Cripps, the defensive lineman. They do a really good job defensively controlling that line of scrimmage. It could be a long night for Eli Garrett, but but the Lions are pretty stout offensively. It just depends on if the Gordonsville defense can get consistent pressure on the Cannon County Lions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to see. I think the biggest key in this game is the Gordonsville defense. And it's been the key for Gordonsville being 4-0 to this point, too. The big word for me for this Gordonsville defense this week, discipline. Cannon County runs a lot of misdirection, a lot of bubble screens, a lot of RPOs. Don't get too aggressive. Stay disciplined. Make them earn it. If they want to throw a bubble screen for 3 yards, let them throw a bubble screen for 3 yards and make the tackle. Do not give up the big play, because the second that you bite on that, Eli Garrett's going to find somebody over the top. Interesting matchup for sure, but I like Gordonsville to win this one. Spoiler.
I was going to say, man, we ain't in our picks yet.
We're still a little ways away from those.
Look at me on Cam making picks.
JP2 at Good Pasture. Good Pasture has been one of the surprises of the early season so far.
Yeah, and JP2 nearly had the surprise of the season last week with the potential upset win over FRA that nobody saw coming. They don't pull it out, but, I mean, they've bounced back really well since losing to East Robertson a couple weeks ago. Zay Batten's looked really, really good. And Good Pasture's in a bit of a they're in their heart. They had some easy games to start the year. Now they're in region play. Things are getting harder. They kept up with Davidson Academy for the most part last week, but this has got shootout potential all over it. And Cam will be at this one. Excited to see what he gets out of this, because I think you're going to be running up and down the sideline.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Isaiah Batten to this point through the season, 73 of 121 for 977 and 9 touchdowns, leading Sumner County in passing yards up to this point. And that's saying something when you mention some of the quarterbacks in that county. So, really, really good start to the season. And that's with them being shut out against a really good East Robertson defense. This is a interesting matchup because we were talking about last week. This was last week against Davidson Academy was Good Pasture's prove it game. Come up a little short, although in a competitive effort. JP2 a little bit disappointed after pushing FRA to the brink. Right? Anytime that you're in a close game like that, there tends to be a little bit of a emotional letdown at least. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these teams come out first. Like which team swings first. I think that's going to go a long way in determining who wins this one.
Yeah, I thought last week that we'd see more, FRA running the ball, keeping it away from JP2. Didn't seem to work. Good Pasture has to do that with Caden Stroud. It's going to be very important for them to maintain ball control and keep the ball away from Isaiah Batten. Stroud's averaging like 6 yards a carry, over 100 yards a game. He's got 10 TDs on the season. He's going to be vital to keeping that defense, the good pasture defense, fresh by keeping the Knights off the field. But they also can, move the ball. Slim Lavelle had a great week last week. He's, and he plays defense too, and he'll be looking to snag any errant bat and throws. But, really, you got to look at Sam Bowers as the one to watch for JP2. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns, 6 receiving touchdowns, and over 100 yards receiving a game. He is a weapon for the Knights. And if they get him going, it could be a long night for good pasture.
Next game on our list is Lebanon at Station Camp. We just saw Station Camp the other night at Springfield. They didn't get the win there, but offensively, this Bison team can get and put it out there.
Colton Overby is a dude. And for Lebanon, I mean, this is their first real big test. They haven't really had any major challenges yet this year. So we think Lebanon's good. Their record says they are, but just how good are they? We'll get a good read on that this week because Station Camp can put up points with anybody. They put up 35 on a really good Springfield team last week. Unfortunately, their defense still a lot to be desired on that front. Unfortunately, they're really young, and they faced a team last week where Jermaine Cobbins and just all those guys they threw it all over them. They ran all over them. For Lebanon, I mean, it's an interesting game for Lebanon. We'll see just how good the Blue Devils are. I think this will be another high-scoring game. I think we're in for a week where a lot of points are going to be scored this week with our top 10 games. Just looking at our picks, it's going to be a high-scoring week if everything pans out the way we think they will.
Yeah, I agree. And, you're kind of on top of it. I mean, the Lebanon defense has been one of the least talked about stories to this point in our area. Gave up 22 to Nolensville. Since then, over 3 games, have given up 6 points. So we'll be interested to see how that defense matches up against the Station Camp offense, which is probably the best offense that Lebanon's seen to this point, though. Mm-hmm. Kind of an offense versus defense matchup, but then you forget about Lebanon's offense and you forget about Station Camp's defensive struggles. When you add all that in together, it makes for a very intriguing matchup.
Well, the Station Camp offense, they were plagued by bad penalties last week, turnovers. They were really in the game. It was back and forth, and it was really one fumble that put them, was really a 14-point swing. They were getting ready to drive down the field. Springfield couldn't stop. So we're going to get a really good idea of how good this Lebanon defense is. As Cam said, this is a team that's only given up 28 points in 4 games. 22 of them were in week 1. So, it's going to be the, unstoppable force against the immovable object. We're going to find out which one wins this week. But I was really impressed with Colton Overby, passing for nearly 400 yards, 3 scores, and then ran for a couple more. This Station Camp team is for real. If they can straighten out some of their mistakes, they're going to be a hard out for anybody the rest of the year.
NBA heads up to Knoxville to take on Knox Catholic.
It's going to be a tough one for the Big Red. You're facing probably the best offense you may see all year in a lot of aspects. I mean, Knox Catholic has weapons everywhere. They can score at will. And NBA, they got the win over Pearl. They've had a couple good wins here and there, but this will by far be the best team they've played this year. And it's going to be tough. I mean, if this game was in Nashville, I'd feel a little better. We're going all the way out there facing offense that you're going to have to keep up with. It's a tall task.
Yeah, they're going to have a huge game out of Hugh Price. That's just all there is to it. And that's going to take a tall task when you consider the secondary of Knox Catholic. They cannot also in a matchup like this when you're the underdog and you're going on the road somewhere, you cannot afford, as we've seen in several Knox Catholic games so far this season, you cannot afford defensive touchdowns. You cannot afford special teams touchdowns, and that's what Knox Catholic does very, very well with their athletes. So NBA has the work cut out for them.
I think defensively, NBA is a pretty good team. If you look at what Knox Catholic has done, they do average 30 points per game, and they've beaten the likes of Riverdale, Anderson County, and Lipscomb. But their quarterback has only attempted 56 passes. 5 have been picked. Okay. This is an NBA team that we know is very opportunistic. They're cold-blooded, and they are very, very tough and very, very solid. In the right circumstances, if they can slow down the attack, they can stay in this game. They have a chance to win. You're right, Cam. Hugh Price is going to have a really good game. He's going to have to find Jackson Newman, Bennett Conyers. He's going to have to get those guys involved early. They can't afford to fall behind. That's going to be the thing. They have to play almost perfect ball, I'm afraid. But we've seen bigger upsets.
We saw both these teams last week, and Springfield now heads to East Nashville to take on the Eagles.
Yeah, and it's playmakers everywhere. For Springfield, you're coming off a game where a mobile quarterback tore you up through the air and on the ground. And no offense to Colton Overby, he's a great player. Dallas Covington's just as good, if not better. He's an incredible. I haven't really talked about it until now. We got some really good junior quarterbacks in our area, and another one's on the other side of the ball. Really, really like Kason Woodson. He's come alive over the last couple of weeks, and a big reason why Springfield's unbeaten at this point. These teams match up really well against each other. There's speed everywhere. Jermaine, it's going to be interesting to see how they match up Jermaine with those East Nashville second defensive backs. And, who's at running back for the Eagles? Is Kenny back? I know KJ won't, he's out, but is Kenny back? Dallas, what does he do on the ground? How does he improve after last week? It's a very, very interesting game for Springfield to be playing right before they play Pearl next week.
Yeah. I actually think this is a good stylistic matchup for Springfield before they play Pearl. It kind of helps get them accustomed to, stopping the gadget plays, whatever you want to call it, tackling in space, because that's what East Nashville's going to try to do. They're going to try to get their guys out in space, one-on-one with somebody, make somebody miss, take it to the house. I mean, that's pretty much what they do, and rightfully so when you have athletes the way that they do. Both teams coming off of, probably not their best defensive performance. I thought East Nashville could have probably played a little bit better. I know Coach Harris is not happy with the way the season has started. I don't think 0-3 was on his calendar, but for everything that's happened to that team to this point, and to be in just about every game to this point, and be right there with chances to win them. They've lost to 6A Collierville, a 6A Antioch, and a 5A Beach. So East Nashville is probably, in my opinion, even with the injuries, one of the scariest winless teams in the state. So this is an intriguing matchup as well. It's going to be, this could turn into a similar game to Station Camp. This could be the first one to 50.
Yeah, I tell you, Joe, I was really impressed with the way Dallas Covington put the ball where it needed to be last week. I mean, he was dropping dimes. He is a very, very talented quarterback. Kason Woodson, you're right. This is a couple of really, really good quarterbacks. And if you don't have a dog in the hunt at any game around, I would highly suggest you get out to East Nashville and watch this one. It's going to be fun. What I saw last week out of Springfield and what they've got to shore up is the middle of the field, because Station Camp exposed that last week. And what we saw in the Beach game is that East is very good at those crossing patterns across the middle, being able to get those in there. And once those guys catch that in space on the run, they're to the house. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to really watch for. those slants. It's a really good test. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Jaden Hurst comes back this week for Springfield.
Who's to
If
say?
he does, that gives Springfield another level. I'm hoping that they both come back, because adding Kenny Fuller on the east side and adding Jaden Hurst on the Springfield side would really give both these teams all of their weapons and make for a very, very, very good game.
The temptation to go to this one was very, very high, given the project, but need to stay a little closer to home this week, and Kirkwood's about 20 minutes away, where this is about 40. So,
yeah,
that'll bring
sacrifices
us to...
we have to make.
They're very real. That'll bring us to our spotlight game this week, which is Antioch and Centennial, and two teams here who can absolutely light the scoreboard up. This is where I'll be on Friday night. I'm looking forward to this one.
Speaking of good quarterbacks, this one's going to be an extremely fun one for you to watch. There's no doubt that that you're going to be running up and down the sideline in this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the theme of the week this week is great quarterback matchups, and this one's right up there. I mean, Andre Adams is just put up video game-like numbers, and I know Centennial's 1-2, but Mitchell Grangene's one of the area's leading passers as well. He's coming off a monster game against Green Hill. Yeah, first to 40 wins.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever seen such a collection of talent as we have in the Mid-State in the last year or two?
Yeah.
Well,
okay. I was just.
Have you seen it? Have you seen I think the better way of phrasing that question: have you seen this amount of talent in the Mid-State before?
Yeah, I mean, literally a couple of years ago, Chris Parson and Kenny Minchie's class.
I think I would say this class is better.
I'm going to go one step further and ask if you've seen it from top to bottom, from small to medium to large class, as a collective.
As someone that's covered recruiting, yeah, we've had a couple of down years in the last couple of years, but yeah, this year's it's up there. But the Chris Parson, Kenny Minchie year, I think we had 13, 14 kids ranked in the top 250 nationally. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good year. One of them's playing defensive lineman at UT right now out of Greenbrier too. So
that's true.
We're loaded. I get what you're saying though. We are loaded at talent. It is kind of crazy because to keep up with all the recruiting and everything. But yeah, 2016. I wasn't here, but I do know 2016 was a good year here in Middle Tennessee. So
I'm glad I asked the question.
It's Tennessee's not talked about enough, I think, when it comes to a hotbed for recruiting. And a big reason why UT is getting back to doing what they're doing is Heupel's recruited well in state, and you see a lot of those kids. I know Tennessee lost the other day, but you look at like Arian Carter and Edwin Spillman. Those kids are playing. Nathan Robinson.
Caleb Herring. Those kids are
Jesse
playing.
Perry.
I mean, the area is really good. You got Jared Curtis going to Georgia next year. He's going to be starting here in a couple of years. Joel Wyatt. I mean, Craig Tutt's going to play at Ole Miss. It's a hotbed for recruiting. And I mean, this game alone, Andre Adams is going to be a 4- or 5-star kid by the time it's all said and done. He's going to play for a Power 4 school.
He is already a 4-star on some sites.
Yeah. My question was about quarterbacks.
Yeah, quarterback wise, it was the Chris Parson, Kenny Minchie year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's keep on this Antioch Centennial game for a minute, because both of these offenses have put up a lot of points in the first 4 weeks. What do you expect to see? Do you expect to see more of this, or maybe is it time for these defenses to find another gear?
It's going to be a good test for Antioch's defense, I think, because I think Centennials is kind of trying to figure out, and we think Antioch's defense is good, but this is their first real big test. And if they show out in this game, it's going to be hard to pick against the Bears the rest of the year.
Right. It's going to, as you say, it's going to be a huge test. The one thing is both these quarterbacks are very mobile. Both of them have the ability to run and make plays, which makes it even harder on a defense than if you had just a pocket presence quarterback. So I think, Chris, I think that we see more of the same. I think we see, we see the scoreboard light up like a, pinball machine.
Also, that recruiting year, Marcel Reed was also involved. So we had Marcel Reed, Chris Parson, and Kenny Minchie.
Okay,
Yeah,
just pound me.
I think we talked about that a couple of years ago about the depth of that quarterback class. I know Cam doesn't want to talk about it, but it's.
I was talking about Scott. Every time Joe says something, he's like, "Just keep pounding me."
No, I was just looking back at it because I was like thinking who else, because I just remember because at the time I was with the Tennessean and doing the Dandy Dozen with them and just looking at the kids that were there, it was crazy. I mean, Shamar Porter, it was quite the class.
Yep. All right, so those are our top 10 games of the week. Going to have a pretty good slate, even regardless of the top 10. Is there anything else that's outside that you mentioned a couple of those beforehand, but is there any other games that jump out at you that we didn't include?
Yeah, huge region game, and then a non-region game that's very interesting as well. Region game being Smith County, Jackson County. I think maybe me and Scott was the only ones to go. Spoiler alert for the picks tomorrow, but I think me and Scott picked Smith County in that one, and everybody else picked Jackson. That is a huge region game. The winner of that game is very much in the driver's seat to be in the postseason. The loser has their work cut out for them. And that's a game that Jackson County's not beat Smith County in a very, very long time. So intriguing matchup there. And then two teams kind of seem to maybe be heading in opposite directions. Watertown, one of the hottest teams right now, versus a Heritage team. That's also a very intriguing matchup as well.
I have a message from our resident Purple Tiger, Isaac Leadham, who cannot be on here tonight. How about them Purple Tigers? That's all he wanted to say. I don't know why. They look good, though. I mean, that's a big game. That could have easily been a top 10 game, too, I think. Yeah. Liberty Creek at Whites Creek is interesting to me. Whites Creek is kind of rolled through their competition for the last couple weeks. Liberty Creek is a hit or miss team. They played a couple overtime games, but this will be a really good test for Deion Barnes and that offense. But if I'm looking at another one, Overton Cane Ridge is kind of interesting to me. Cane Ridge picked up a big win last week. Overton, don't really know what to make of them yet. So that's a big region game. I mean, the winner there is not a bad spot for a playoff position.
Yeah, I'm looking at Coffee County Independence. Now, Independence is lost. This is a big region game, and Independence has lost their last two games by a total of like 5 points. They are on the cusp of winning big, getting back into the region race. A region win here would be big for the Eagles, and we'll get into the picks. But I think that's a good game. And another game that I'm very interested in is Baylor and CPA. I'm just interested to see how CPA, lines up against a school like Baylor. And it's just going to be interesting to see what they do at that level in Division 3A, how they handle that. Yep. If I had one more to look at, it will probably be just Henry County and Page. That's a historically tough matchup, but I think that Page has been riding a wave. Henry County's kind of been down, but it'll be interesting to see if Henry County musters it up, going over to Rudderville and see how they. What?
Somebody said CPA has been facing the Avengers.
That's not far from true. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty accurate so far.
Good.
Yeah,
that's so good.
Another matchup that's in Rutherford County that can't be remiss. It's honestly probably an early season elimination game, and that's Rockville and Smyrna.
Yep.
Yep.
I was just about to mention that one. Smyrna, it's a must win for Smyrna because if you fall to 0-3 in that region, considering you still got to play Riverdale and Blackman and Stewart's Creek, that's trouble if they lose this game to Rockville. Rockville started 2-0 in region play, and a win that almost gets them on the cusp of a playoff spot. Not quite, but they're close if they can win it. So, yeah, a lot of great games this week. At week 5, we were talking about week 6 as a really big week. This has turned out to be a pretty good week in its own right. So
yeah, going into the year, it was not, but the way results have panned out, it definitely has for sure.
Yeah, I can remember kind of bemoaning the fact that, well, we were sitting here looking at those games going, well, what's going to be the spotlight? What's going to be, basically Chris said, why in the heck are we worried about it now?
we had 90 points in our spotlight game last week. Let's see if Antioch and Centennial can come close to that or even beat it. Who knows?
Oh, please no.
Yeah, speaking of week 6, we do have something special, I think, still in plan for next week.
Yeah, still a little few days out before we talk about that. But all right, past the top of the hour, let's go real quick and talk about our sponsor, AccuWorks. If there is one thing homeowners in Middle Tennessee know well, it's football and stormy weather. When your home or office has suffered storm damage, call the pros at AccuWorks. AccuWorks has the training and experience required to understand the frustration and trauma that storm damage can cause for home and business owners. Our team is qualified to evaluate and perform the necessary emergency repairs to mitigate damage and execute the optimum storm restoration plan. Call us now at 615-292-2009 or toll free at 888-779-2228 or visit our website at AccuWorks.com. AccuWorks, a proud sponsor of Tennessee high school athletics. And now it's time for Who You Got.
You didn't change that one.
Gets him every week.
Every week.
Just past the 200 game mark for the season, and it's still pretty darn close.
Can you round up?
I think I did, actually.
Well, that's a 75.
The math is off somewhere.
Yeah.
It says I'm 35-8 last week.
That may be. It is off. I think it is off. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he gained the game on me.
41-11 last week.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Let's go on.
Chris is just mad because he's losing a grip on his lead.
Shut up.
Ha ha ha.
Well,
Hey Cam, gentleman's agreement. We just duke it out at the end.
I will mute you in a heartbeat.
You're a hater. No one likes you.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? I'm running this show, so go play in traffic.
When you're here and not sick.
Hey. Scott, can we throw him out?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, or I don't know. Maybe send him to Tullahoma for a game.
Hey, I like Tullahoma.
No, that's too nice for him.
Well, I don't want to insult anybody, but I would just say send him out, send him east.
Don't you threaten me with Narnia.
I will say
I was going to go Red Bull in Springs.
Yeah,
I will say
That's
right
also
now.
a place.
My gosh.
I used to be play-by-play there, dude. It's a real place.
You're delusional.
I did color for 10 years in Narnia, evidently, but guess what? I'm still here.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Cam?
We've done pretty well. I mean, when you think about, especially all of our younger guys, all of our younger staff are holding in there a lot better than they have in years past. So either they've learned something from us, or they're just copying us.
They're just waiting until we get our pick done.
I'm running the curve, or y'all are running the curve for me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to lock that page at like 10 o'clock or something. All right. On to the picks. Let's start with Beach and Upperman. And we got a little split here.
Oh, look at KJ crawling back to the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have much choice here. I just think that I do think Beach's defense has gotten better. I do think DK Williams is one of the best linebackers in our area for sure. But that Upperman offense is just a little bit too explosive, in my opinion. And I think if they get up a couple scores, Beach is not suited to come back and win that game.
All I have to say is DK Williams. He showed me something last week. I think that if they go how he goes, and last week he showed me that he spent more time in the East Nashville backfield than pretty much everybody but their quarterback did. So I looked at that, and quite frankly, I think Beach is a little bit more weathered. So I'm going to roll with the Bucks.
I think Beach has struggled with rushing quarterbacks, and they are facing arguably the best one they've played up to this point in this year. I mean, Bronson Chaffin is a legit Mr. Football candidate in 4A, and I also just think their secondary is still very, very, very green in a lot of places. So the Bees being at home, easy pick here for me. I just like Upperman. I think they're a factor in 4A this year, and I just kind of think they're a little bit better than the Bucks are right now.
Yeah, I got to agree with that a little bit. I do think, though, that playing East Nashville and the type of ball that they played last week was a good warm-up for this test, especially going against the mobile quarterback in Dallas Covington and his ability to get it on the ground. Bronson Chaffin's a different animal, though. That's really the edge for me going to Upperman on this one. And that's a tough trip. Going to Upperman is a very tough place to win, and an opponent the Beach has never seen before. I'm going to take the Bees in this one, but I kind of think this is a grinded out type of game early on as they feel each other out a little bit before it opens up a little bit in the second half. East Robertson at Kirkwood.
That's fair.
East Robertson at Kirkwood. We were all on East Robertson to get a win on the road.
This was a tough one for me. Everybody likes Scott on Instagram. This was a tough one for me. I think Kirkwood, they have the weapons. I just think East Robertson a little more weathered at this point. They've played a tougher schedule, and I just kind of lean the Indians. Also, this comment from Bryant is funny. Why couldn't they have played this year?
No, this matchup to me is an intriguing matchup also. I do think that maybe last week kind of showed to me that East Robertson they can grind one out if they need to. I know that score last week was 27-7, but it was very much kind of a grinded out game, especially in the second half. So I think East Robertson does enough on offense, and they grind this one away late.
I agree with that, and I think that the key in this game is going to be Ted Summerer, the field goal kicker for East Robertson, who was 2 for 2 with a 44-yarder last week, made all his PATs. I think that he is a weapon that is not talked about, but they have so many weapons that they're going to be able to move the ball around. I just think East Robertson's got a little bit more skill position and quick strike ability.
Yeah, I simply didn't want to have to apologize to East Robertson next week. Enough said.
That's fair.
Right. FRA and Davidson Academy, and we've all taken the Panthers to win on the road.
I think I've been a little generous on my score. I think it's probably going to be closer than that. I like what Davidson Academy is doing, and I need to see it from FRA to really trust them. I know they're winning, but it's not as dominant maybe as I thought it would be going into the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Geisinger is going to be saying the same thing I am. I want to see 4 quarters out of this Panthers team. This is a game that before the season, we probably looked at this and say FRA rolls. But with the way that they've played, you can't really say that, and especially with what Ridge Holman's been able to do for Davidson Academy. But the weapons that FRA have in the backfield and out wide, they've been good enough to this point offensively to outscore their mistakes. I think that continues this week.
I think they're still, they had a lot of pieces that came together in the offseason. Their offense, I just don't think has gelled as quickly as they would like. I think that, though, this game is a get-right game for the Panthers. Davidson Academy's playing well, and I think they keep it. I think they keep it somewhat close. But I just think that FRA gets it together offensively in this game.
BGA is going to be watching this game quite intently. If you're FRA, can you get a win without having to show too much in this contest, given that BGA's got the week off and you've got them next week?
Nope.
That's key for me.
BGA's going to, I can guarantee you BGA's half their roster's going to be there.
Half. And maybe more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
They may have their own cheering section. Gallatin at Green Hill, and we're split here too.
Yeah. Again, this is the one that Cam and I unfortunately agreed on. This game being at home, I don't know. I don't know if it's that big of a difference. I like Cannon Burrows a lot in this one. I think he's had some struggles, admittedly, over the last couple of weeks. But then, last week he got it together. He got it going. He led Green Hill back to the top. It's a big win. And had they lost last week to Centennial, definitely would have flowed the other way for me. But they're the kings of this region until somebody else knocks them off. And Gallatin very well could be that team. Just got to see it in person.
Right. There was just too many things leaning Green Hill for me. The fact that they were able to outscore a Centennial team, that is a very similar type of game that this could be, in my opinion. The fact that, as I mentioned earlier, Coach Crouch is willing to make the call in the special teams game to steal a possession late. And the fact that, Gallatin struggled last week against Cookeville. Gallatin cannot afford to do that against Green Hill. It's just that point blank and simple. If Gallatin's offense struggles the way it did against Franklin and the way it did in the first half against Cookeville, Green Hill will win this football game. Turnovers, huge part of this game. Special teams, huge part in this game. This is going to be a really good football game. I think Green Hill has too many things pointing their way for me.
Yeah, last week's game kind of worried me, and yeah, it's. I remember about the week before it really worried me, and I chose incorrectly, but I still have 3/4 of a can of green hairspray left. What the heck? No, look. To me, I think the difference is going to be Malachi Harper in this game. I think that Gallatin's going to be able to run the ball. And I just think that Gallatin's offense is a little bit better than Centennial's at this point. And Green Hill has shown, they've shown that they give up yards on passing. So until they get that corrected, I have to give the edge to Gallatin.
And before we move off this game, I don't know if any of you guys know or not, but want to send our well wishes to Gallatin High School as they've lost their SRO officer this week to a medical emergency, and Deputy Soares will be missed there at Gallatin High School.
Yep, well said. For me, it boils down to it's time for Gallatin to win the big game that they have not won the last couple of years. And growth as a program is winning this type of game when you previously haven't. And I think this offense is right there ready to get it done. And, there's no better time than now. So coin flip for me. I like what Green Hill's done in the bounce back from that Ravenwood loss, but I also think Gallatin can definitely get this done.
I got to call out Connor. Tyson picking his school's biggest rival. I feel like he just doesn't do it a whole lot unless absolutely necessary. Connor's out here picking Gallatin as a station camp grad. That's just gross.
Let's be realistic. Tyson never picks it by the school name.
That's true.
He does not. He is not.
It may say the school name in all of our graphics because Chris has to do that, but it does not say the school name in our pick sheet.
And Gallatin did beat Gallatin did beat Green Hill 2 years ago. That is true, but Green Hill currently that was a sophomore Cannon Burrows who's only grown, and sophomore Amize. I mean, it's until you beat them this group, it's hard for me to really pick you.
Yeah.
Be a good game though.
Yep. Gordonsville at Cannon County. We've all got the Tigers on the road getting wins in this one. kind of in the same boat, really, as far as our scores are.
I simply think Tigers are cooler than Lions. No, I like Gordonsville a lot here. They're kind of the proven program, whereas Cannon County really getting it going this year. Gordonsville, I just like what Coach Jackson's got going there, and there's a reason we're so high on them.
Yeah, they're just stifling defensively and good enough offensively. That they can grind it out offensively, play good enough defense, and you end up in these somewhat low scoring, just physical, slow, very quick games because you're running the football. But as you said earlier, though, I will give you this point, Joe. If Cannon County can pull them into a shootout, if they're able to score on that Gordonsville defense, this one could get interesting.
Yep, I agree with that.
JP2 at Good Pasture. Isaac and Tyson are taking the Cougars.
Yeah, the way the JP2's offense has played over the last couple of weeks after getting shut out by East Robertson, I think Isaiah Batten has found something, and I just think the Knights, similar to last week for Good Pasture, go win it. This is a game that, you want to get back to what people knew Good Pasture's program as. This is one of those games that can help get you there. But I think JP2 outscores them.
Yeah, I think that just too much Isaiah Batten in this game. As Cam had said earlier, nearly 1,000 yards passing, 9 scores. He just needs to protect the ball a little bit better. But he's got 2 really good receivers. Their offense is just really stroking on all cylinders. I just don't know that Good Pasture can keep the ball away from them enough to get the win here.
Yeah, what they said. I mean, I ain't got nothing else to add there.
Oh, Lebanon at Station Camp. Isaac, Scott, and Tyson are taking the Bison. And wait a minute. Connor's going against his alma mater, too.
Connor, what the heck, man?
He's trying.
Last week.
It didn't work for KJ last week, and Connor is hoping for the reverse jinx here. Okay, I know exactly what he's doing. He's hoping for the reverse jinx. This is going to be a fun game. We talked about the Lebanon defense earlier, but what doesn't get talked about is the Lebanon offense has performed pretty well this year too, up to this point. And this is a Station Camp defense that's been struggling. I think give me Lebanon's defense to get a couple stops and Lebanon's offense to score enough.
I just was really impressed with the Station Camp offense and the way they played against Springfield. I think that Colton Overby is a tremendous talent at the quarterback position. They've got some really good players on defense. Ryland Keefe can cover from side to side. He's got 17 tackles, 5 tackles for loss. Lucas Heath has 26 tackles. I think that those guys are going to get their carries, but I think Miles Jefferson and Chan Simpson on the line are going to be the key to stopping Izeda. I think they can do it. I think Station Camp wins here.
It's as much as I like Station Camp and that offense, that defense is a concern. Lebanon, kind of under the radar team. Nobody's really talking about them all that much. I really like what they've done, though. This is a good chance for a statement win for them. Station Camp, they gotta figure it out defensively, and I don't think this is a good week for them to do that.
Yeah, kind of the wrong week for that defense to see another high-powered team in Lebanon. Lebanon is one of those teams that I'm keeping an eye on right now just because of the way they've started. They're sneaking into the conversation as far as some of our top teams in large class.
Can confirm.
NBA at Knoxville Catholic, and we've all got the Irish.
Too much firepower for the Irish. Wish I could say that about my college team. But I just think this game being in Knoxville, Tyreek Key is it Tyreek? Who is it? Cam Tyreek?
Yeah, King.
It's Tyreek King, and Smith is the one that's going to Notre Dame.
Yes, yeah. Just too many stars. You're asking a lot out of Hugh Price here.
Yeah, asking a lot out of Hugh Price, and like I said earlier, you can't afford defensive touchdowns. You can't afford special teams touchdowns here. Knox Catholic, I believe, they may have a defensive or special team score in every game this year. So that's going to be key number one to getting a win is don't give them up, don't give points on defense, don't give points on special teams. Easier said than done. They're a really good team. We tried to tell people after they upset Riverdale in week 1, hey, calm down. Knox Catholic's going to be pretty good. Here they are undefeated.
Yeah, I agree. I think NBA has to play a perfect game to really to win this one. Their defense is good enough to make stops, but their offense has to be able to keep up. I just don't think that they can. I think they'll keep it close, but I just don't. I think, like Joe said, the Irish just have way too much firepower.
I don't know that they have to play a perfect game to win it, but like what we've been saying, what they cannot allow is big plays on special teams and off the defensive side of the ball. You don't have to give up scores, but if you give up big returns that give short fields to the other team, that is bad news too, because that hidden yardage adds up fast, and Knoxville Catholic has been very good at that so far through this point of the season. Springfield at East Nashville. I know East Nashville's not going to like it, but we're all taking Springfield.
There's your motivation, Eagles. Use it.
Yep.
Make us.
You almost got it done last week using it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another chance for you.
Yeah. Well, we saw what a running quarterback could do against East Nashville last week with Beach and Caden Powell. Kason Woodson's even more dangerous, in my opinion. And then you've got an offensive skill set that has a similar speed, has height, has the ability to stretch the field and make big plays. I just think Springfield's, defensively they're going to have to shore up some spots, but I think Springfield's just got the right players at the right spots.
Yeah, over the last couple of weeks, I feel like that Springfield offense has starting to kick it into high gear. They're starting to look like that offense of the postseason last year, and that is a very scary sight for everybody on the back half of Springfield's schedule, and quite frankly, everybody in 4A. This Springfield team offensively, name a team that has two backs the caliber of Jaden Hurst and Lamaris Dallin. Name a 4A team with a 5-star top, what do you say, Joe, 20 player in the country out wide probably. So this Springfield team is really, really talented, and they're starting to find a groove.
Yeah, this was actually a tough one to pick, and had I not already used my pick against Springfield card 2 weeks ago, I would have. I realistically could have picked East Nashville here. East Nashville just hampered by injuries. KJ Johnson being out, Kenny Fuller, up in the air. Heard he's going to play. Heard he's not going to. Who knows at this point? Dallas Covington is every bit the part of a quarterback that could give Springfield fits. However, I know this coaching staff. I've gotten to know them pretty well over the last couple months. They've been hard at work figuring out how to shut this East Nashville offense down. Don't think you can shut them down completely. I like Springfield in a real high-scoring game here. I just think the offense is clicking. Kason Woodson is just getting better and better. And Jermaine's a problem. If East Nashville decides to go one-on-one with him, they got the talent to do it. But nobody's been able to do it up to this point in the year. So should be a really good one on the east side of Nashville Friday night. And honestly, wish I was there a little bit.
Yeah, really liked what I saw out of Springfield last week, but I want to talk about East Nashville and what they did in the second half against Beach, because there was a point in that second half where it looked like the East Nashville was going to go away, and they chose not to, and got back in that game and got themselves a chance to win it at the end. Their resiliency cannot be understated. Yeah, it's been a tough start for the Eagles, but they're growing up a lot and in a hurry too, because these games are getting them ready for region play, and once they get there, the wins are going to come in bunches.
Yep.
All right, and that's going to bring us to our spotlight game of the week, which is Antioch and Centennial. But before we get our picks on the screen, let's see who our special guest picked this week.
All right, the Kittens, one of them, will pick between the Antioch Bears and the Centennial Cougars. Have at it, boys. Butchie's turn.
He said.
Is one going to choose?
More interested in the box.
Yes. Looks like Butch has made the decision this week, and Butch has chosen the Cougars of Centennial.
Another cat pick.
Yep. Makes me
And
not feel great about flipping.
Joe.
Butchie, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
Joe, it's yours. Go for it.
Cam, I want to talk to you directly. You and I, we're leading in the standings, and I think you and I know ball more than anybody else on this program, obviously, much more than Scott and Chris. Do you know the overall record between these two schools, like against each other? 8-1. You're dumb. Don't care. 8-1. Antioch actually won the first matchup back in 1997, 41-19. Cam, how old were you and I in 1997?
Well, I would have been 2.
I was 3. Scott was 76. Just a couple of years ago, could you imagine? And this is not, I mean, Antioch was in down times. You got to think about this. There's a time where this program did not win games. Andre Adams comes along. Coach Broom comes along. They're winning games by the buttload now, guys. Centennial, I like Mitchell Grandjean a lot. That's my guy. He knows that. However, one of my favorite animals is a bear. And I'm going to roll with Antioch for the first time this year in a spotlight game. The honey bear mask.
Hey, Bear.
That's a bear.
I think so. Jess actually likes this mask. She said it was a good one.
I don't need to know that. You know, whatever you guys do.
No, she said it was
Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ.
On to the picks.
I like the Bears a lot in this one, guys. I think it's shootout potential. I like Andre Adams to take Antioch to that next level, and really, really high on the Bears this year. I'm going to be really, really high on the Bears next year as long as Andre Adams is their quarterback. I am the number one fan in the Andre Adams fan club. He's a difference maker, and I just like the playmakers he's got too, and they're kind of more proven at this point.
You know, the Antioch defense still a little bit of a question mark. We're going to find out this week, but I just don't know that Centennial can keep playing shootout games and and coming up short. I just had to take the Bears because like Joe, Andre Adams is I think is probably one of, if not the best quarterback, one of the best in the Nashville Christian aside. Yeah, I'm going to shut up before I get myself in further trouble. What is this, quicksand over here? I just like the Bears as well. It's my spirit.
Yeah, no secret to tell here. I had Centennial until 9:41 last night. It just comes. This was the toughest game for me to pick. I do think it's going to be a shootout. The biggest knock on Antioch opponents are 1-14. Easy to say they've not played anybody, and then, of course, as Joe said, well, they played East Nashville, and East Nashville would probably beat Centennial. Maybe, maybe not. The reason why I changed the pick is real simple. The last time there was this amount of excitement around Antioch was when LaMarcus Coker was running back. Okay, they have a generational talent in Andre Adams. They have a really good receiver core. And our new intern, Connor, commented in our group chat, and he pretty much said verbatim, Cam's going to have to apologize to Andre Adams again, and that ain't happening. So I'm going with the Bears.
It took him pointing that out to you to flip your pick, Bo. It's homecoming night at Centennial, and it's an unfortunate opponent because, you know, your homecoming in this game that you would hopefully want to win. And Tyrell Dodson's coming back for his jersey retirement ceremony on Friday night. And yeah, he's coming back through that door, but he's not suiting up for him. They can certainly use him. And the way the Antioch offense has been humming along right now, it's kind of hard to pick against them.
Yeah, and I'll just real quick, I want to make a pitch. We talked about Andre. Brandon Galladay may be one of the better athletes, definitely in the metro area, as far as metro schools go. Does not have near the amount of looks he should have from local schools around here. If you're an OVC team or one of the smaller teams around here, UTC, Tennessee Tech, Austin P, you need to go talk to Brandon Galladay right now.
Yeah. You said it better than I could have.
Yeah, that's good. It's going to be a fun one Friday night, regardless. I do want to reiterate these two offenses can light it up. It's going to be a fun one to watch. So,
yeah,
looking forward to
I'm looking forward to it.
Wear your running shoes.
Yeah,
I just bought new ones, so yeah.
There you go.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, that's it for our picks for this week. It's going to be a fun week, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Glad it's here.
Yep.
I
get to go to Cedar Hill tomorrow.
Yes, you do. Well, let's get to our final words. Who do I want to start with tonight? Scott, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save you. You're gonna bat second tonight. Cam, you lead off.
Yeah, as we said, we've been kind of looking forward to Week 6 all year, and here we are, Week 5, and we have a star-studded lineup for Week 5 as well. If we don't get the chance to go out to your game this week or next week, for that matter, it's not a diss towards your school, towards you guys at all. We're trying to cover as many teams as we can this year in our area. That's why you're seeing us get out to some areas that we've not really gotten to in a couple of years. And we continue to hope to do that. So that way we can really hone in a little bit later in the season. We appreciate your patience with that. We appreciate all the people that when we go to these places for the first time in a couple of years, they recognize us and they say hello. So if we're out at Greenbrier tomorrow night for me and Joe, or if I'm at Good Pasture on Friday night, I've not been to a Good Pasture game since I was still doing radio. So super excited to get back down to Madison for that one. Say hello. Say thank you. Say, hey, we watch you. We love the show. We enjoy that. That's our form of payment. Believe it or not, we talk about our sponsors, but we don't get paid. We get paid off of that interaction, that support from you guys. And that's why we keep doing it, to bring good publicity to our student athletes here in the 615 area code. And we appreciate you all.
Yeah, as Cam said, when we're out at games, boy, I got this down here on my lower brow. I used to have a hairline down here. No, as Cam said, we thank you for everything that you guys have, all the kind words, all the encouragement, all the helping us with sponsors, things of that nature. Hey, that's all great, and we love you for it. So thank you very much. One thing I have noticed this year, and maybe I'm just lucky, maybe I just haven't been in the right spot, but I've seen a lot less animosity on the sidelines, a lot less people, losing control or things of that nature. So, you guys, keep it up. You make it fun. It's high school sports, and in a day and age when We have so much going on. It's really good that we can all come together and watch kids compete in a sport that they enjoy. For that, I'm incredibly grateful because you guys make it so very fun to watch, so very fun to talk with on the sidelines, discuss things, talk scores, things of that nature. Even Joe's fan club that we ran into. You guys are twisted, but hey, we still love you. But no, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. When Chris and I started this, years ago now, we just want to provide the best content possible out there, and we want to continue doing that. And that's all thanks to you.
Yeah, didn't tell these guys. I literally just told Cam I'm gonna change my plans for tomorrow, Scott. I'm gonna go to Ezel and Joe Burns with you. Those are two teams I have not seen, and I'm not sure if I'll get another chance to see them this year. Pretty sure I'll get to see Portland and Greenbrier later on. So last minute change. I wanted to announce that. So I will be at Joe Burns alongside Scott tomorrow night. Really excited. Sorry, Cam. Cam was mean to me over a text, guys. No, it's been a fun year. It's hard to believe that we're almost at the midway point in the season. Episode 2 of Into the Hive is out now. It came out last Thursday. Really great reception from people I talked to about it. And I'm excited to get that going. Going to take a couple weeks off from it so we can promote some more projects, including Love to Hate, which, again, big thank you to Lookout Pest Control for the sponsorship there. That's going to come out next Wednesday night. Isaac's hard at work on that. That's why he was not on tonight. He's hard at work doing these things, and he's working on the last one as well. So really appreciate all the hard work he's doing, all the hard work the rest of our guys are doing. And Into the Hive episode 3 will be out in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you see me, say hi. I'm always up for talking to people. Just, keep it nice. Don't take the picks personally. We want to see all you guys win. Just unfortunately, that's not how it goes. We got to make picks.
Can't say it better myself. Ought to be a good week. Yeah. I mean, when am I actually really wrong?
Oh, God.
I'm single, so I'm not wrong. Anyway, yeah, these guys are right. When we're out of games, yeah, absolutely come up to us, say hello. We love hearing that. We love hearing from you guys, and it's really fun and kind of gratifying to hear that you appreciate what we're doing, and so it makes it even more fun than it already is. Going to be a great week. Make sure you get out to the game. It'll be fun, even Thursday, Friday night, and hopefully the rest of the year is like this too. It's been fun so far. A lot of great projects coming up for these guys. Happy to do it with them. It's a great team, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So I appreciate each and every one of you who are watching tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, also our scoreboard show, 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Make sure you join us for that too. And our YouTube channel, on X, on Facebook, on Instagram Live, and even on Twitch if you've got that, if you want to watch it there. So thank you so much to AccuWorks for sponsoring 615 Preps Live for the remainder of the season. Also to Lookout Pest Control for the Love to Hate and the Iron Brigade sponsorships for this season as well. Have a pleasant good evening, everybody. For Cam, for Joe, for Scott, I'm Chris, and for all of us at 615 Preps, have a good one. We'll see you then.